Welcome back, players, and welcome to a new deck. I'm your host, Garlic Bread, and today we will talk about a new meta breaker deck made up by Erinis and Street Urchin. This deck we will talk about the decklist, strategy, price, and a brief discussion about the deck and how can you improve it. Starting off with the commanders. As I have previously said, the commanders are Erinis, Gloomstalker, and Street Urchin. Erinis is a drop 3/3 with Death Touch. When he attacks, he returns a land from your graveyards. Meanwhile, Street Urchin is a drop 2, which gives the sequence ability to your commander. One generic mana, sacrifice another creature or artifact. This creature deals 1 damage to any target. The main synergy between the two commanders is that Erinis has Death Touch, meanwhile Street Urchin makes so that it is Erinis to deal the damage to the enemy creature or the enemy target, which give you the possibility to have in your command zone a perma removal, and the whole deck will synergize around having a remover in your command zone. Jumping into the deck list, we can see at first the creatures. We need a ton of mana acceleration to being able to cast Erinis and Street Urchin as fast as possible, and a lot of mana to avoid the enemy to actually play creatures. Capitalize on Erinis' ability given from Street Urchin. We want a lot of creatures with effect ATB like Sky Scanner or effect ATB and LTB like Filigree Familiar. Do not forget that we are playing a aggro deck, so we will always want initiative and monarch on the battlefield and in our deck. And to be honest, between you and me, guys, the enemy will not take it back. For me, guys, I love to put protection spells in my deck, especially in this deck. They are fundamental because you already have a removal in your command zone, so you will not need any more removals because all the deck is playing around Erinis and Street Urchin's ability. So all the slots that you would use to burn spells or removal in general, you can use them for protection spells. This way, the opponent will not be able to remove your commander in any possible way. Green spells have a triple functionality inside our deck. In the beginning, you will use them to draw cards and replenish your hand. Then you will discard lands, which will make Erinis' activate ability much more easily to trigger. Then you will create tokens that will make Street Urchin's ability a lot easier to trigger. So I have artifacts with great ETB and LTB effects. This will enlarge our pool of must-have cards, which is really good because we don't have really a lot of cards with both ATB and LTB effects, so having them even in the artifacts slots make much easier for us to have cards with great value. Another way that we can have much more cards to sacrifice for Street Urchin is by having cards that self-replenish themselves in your hand. What I mean with that, we will need artifacts that make us draws as they enter or they leave the battlefield. This way we will have always a stable amount of cards in our hand. The first one that creates tokens for activate Street Urchin's ability. The second one with enhance the commander's Voltron strategy. We also play a few of enchantment. We have enchantments that provide some regeneration for the commander, like Snake Umbra, Spider Umbra, which gives totem armor to our commander. Then we have draw potential from Snake Umbra, and at the same time we have token potential. We want in our deck a lot of lands, because Erinis' ability revolve around having lands, but especially lands in the graveyard. For this reason, we want a lot of lands that can self-sacrifice, like Brock's Hideout, Evolving Wilds, but at the same time we want artifact lands, because artifact lands can solely activate Street Urchin's ability, and then can be replenished by Erinis' ability. Talking about the price, the deck is relatively cheap with $36 of price or 27 euros. But the main price comes from having all snow cover lands in our deck. So by cutting snow cover lands, the price will diminish substantially. The deck is already good as it is, although can be improved, especially by placing some more burning spells to avoid the enemy to go wide, or placing some more cards that sacrifice already your land, like Arrow, Crop Rotation, Spring Bloom Druids. Nevertheless, I would suggest you to not use this deck if you are playing with friends. This is because the pairing of commanders is already toxic, and even if you downgrade the deck as much as possible, the deck will always find its way to be one of the most toxic on the table. For this reason, so even if you play with less stronger decks, I suggest you to go for other types of commanders. Maybe use Guild Artisan instead of Street Urchin. This way you will have a lot of mana, but you will have to add some more burning spells. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video.